Episode 41, Fearless and Healthy.
Welcome to Creative Success. Fueling success with creativity. It's the Creative Success Podcast with Gers. Designed to build inspiration for life. Delivering the messages and ideas for today.
And I'm Gers. What can we create together today? In this episode, creators, we're sitting down with my friend, health and fitness colleague, Ian Ryan. Ian shares how he came to a crossroads personally, professionally, what he did about it, and how he became fearless and healthy, all to help you step into your creative success.
Hey creators, this is Rola Mnimni from Ms. Cool Boss, where we empower leaders to empower others. You can email me at Rola, R-O-L-A, at Ms. Cool Boss, and you're listening to the Creative Success Show with Gers.
Rola, thank you so much for that great introduction. And today's episode, creators, is brought to you by HostGator.com. Use Tanner at checkout and save 40% on all hosting packages. I know, HostGator's just awesome like that, dropping 40% off on creators using Tanner at checkout. Now, for the complete show notes on today's episode, come on over to creativesuccessshow.com/41. It's been a crazy few weeks, creators. I tell you, crazy. And I appreciate everyone who's reached out to ask about the show, like specifically, where the hell is it? And today's episode is a great episode on the heels of this craziness. Ian Ryan uses foundational principles to elevate his life and elevate his business. And those principles, they really hit home with me. It's really easy, creators, to get caught up with all the shit that we got going down on a day-to-day. And one of the ways to cut through all the brush in the jungle is consistency. Ian is definitely consistent, and that is one of the foundational principles behind his consistent success. Success as a health and fitness professional, success as a mindful individual, success as an entrepreneur, and his clients are beneficiaries of that consistent success as well. And consistency rings true with growing the Creative Success Show as well, by consistently sharing it. So go ahead right now and share this episode. Share it right to Facebook from the podcast app on your phone, or the best way to always share it is on the complete show notes page at creativesuccessshow.com/41. We've got those dynamic buttons there on the side so you can quickly share to Facebook or Twitter, as well as those clickable messages and quotes from this episode so you can quickly and easily share specific content from this episode. Help a fellow creator out and take 2 seconds to share this episode right now. Now, I realize that I'm not serving Creation Nation, I'm not serving you as well as I could without being so open, so honest about all the tools and all the resources that I'm using. You need to know this stuff. It saves time and it saves a lot of money. So I've been working hard and diligently on compiling everything that I use in one spot, one location, so you can see what will work for you as well. Just go to creativesuccessshow.com/resources, and if you're already on the website, you can just click on Creative Resources right at the top of the page. I've got everything from website hosting, podcasting packages, ongoing education, and of course, the super cool resource, today's sponsor, HostGator.com, with their 24-hour, 365 awesome customer and tech support. Every time I have ever spoken with HostGator customer or tech support, everyone is super nice. They've always helped me, gone way out of their way, and are super patient. Because at the end of the day, let's face it, I'm just not that techie of a person. So thank God for HostGator, dropping 40% off on creators using Tanner at checkout. And now, let's get into today's content. Today's guest on Creative Success got into fitness after he got those first 15 pounds. You know, the freshman 15. And after he got out of college, he developed his personal training and coaching chops in a big box gym before starting his own corporate fitness training business in Washington, D.C. Even though it was successful, he felt empty. And those feelings of emptiness were exacerbated when he lost his brother in January of 2015. That loss, that emptiness, it filled him with questions. What am I doing to create a larger impact? How can I serve more people? And what if there's no tomorrow? Even though he was dealing with the voices in his head, dealing with that fear that we've all felt, the fear surrounding taking that big leap, he didn't listen. He chose not to listen to those voices and chose to create a larger impact. Today's guest is the man behind the Fearless and Healthy podcast. With over 300,000 downloads in less than a year. He's the man behind the knowledge, recipes, and workouts on the Fearless and Healthy Community Facebook group. He's also providing nutrition, fitness, and mindset coaching to his clients around the world and is the genius behind fearlessandhealthy.com. Ian Ryan, thank you so much for joining us today on Creative Success.
Tanner, I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me. I love your show, and I'm excited for this.
Oh, man. It means a lot to me because your show is absolutely crushing it. Creators Ian's show has passed, as we had said, 300,000 downloads over the lifetime of his podcast, and it hasn't even been an entire year. But I want to rewind back, Ian. I want to get started to before you moved to San Diego. You were in the corporate world, right? And then something happened. Tell us a little bit about your background and what brought you or how that moment of a decision had to be made. How'd that happen?
Absolutely, Tanner. You know, I've been in the fitness industry for about a decade now, started in a big box gym. That's really where I learned my craft. And eventually I went out on my own, started my own fitness company. So it was a corporate fitness company in Washington, D.C., worked with a lot of corporate professionals that wanted to find out, how to get in shape in less time. But there was just something missing. I don't know what it was, but I just felt like I had a bigger calling and I wanted to share my message with more people. I was kind of running around, Tanner, from office to office, with equipment. And I was like, man, there has to be some way I can leverage this better. And I always wanted to do things online, but I had a lot of fear around that, putting myself out there, for example. I didn't want to put myself out on video. I didn't know if anyone would listen to me if I actually started my an online business. So I kept putting it off. And I would listen to all these podcasts with all these people doing amazing things. And I just thought, well, it could never happen for me. And then in January 2015, I lost my brother tragically. He passed away at age 25. And that just really made me think about things a little bit differently. And it made me, realize that life is short, right? And that at any time it really could be taken away from us. And it just reframed the way I wanted to approach things from then on. And a lot of the things that I was scared to do, I was like, I just want to make them happen. I want to give them a shot. And if they work out, they do. And if, they don't, they don't. So I decided that was it, man. I was going to pursue a dream of mine and move out to sunny San Diego, and hopefully things were going to work out. I, told my clients, gave them a heads up, and I just went on this journey of self-discovery, and I just kind of figured I'd just see where things went. I decided to launch a podcast, which I did about 2 weeks after I landed here in San Diego, and it's been rocking and rolling, man. We're about 100 episodes in. There's been a lot of fear and uncertainty along the way, which I'm sure we'll discuss on the show. But it's been an amazing journey. I've been able to connect to so many people, and that would have never happened if I didn't just take that big leap.
Creators, we're talking with Ian Ryan of fearlessandhealthy.com. And I think that your podcast, Fearless and Healthy, and your website, fearlessandhealthy.com, really resembles a lot of what you stand for. And gosh, I want to back up to losing your brother. So younger brother, right?
Yeah, he was my 25-year-old younger brother.
Oh my gosh, man, that is so terrible. I think about what happened when I was in my accident and how it affected my brother and my family. And creators, I think that we all have had that experience, right? Maybe you were in a bad auto accident, or maybe you lost a friend, a family member, a relative, and you realize how precious these moments that we have, how valuable our resource, our number one resource is, our time, and maximizing it to create the greatest impact that we can to leave that legacy behind us. I can imagine that you do a lot of things because you realized, hey, it ended short for him. What happens if that happens to me?
It's exactly what it was, Tanner. I mean, you hit the nail right on the head. It's like time, we don't know how much time we're going to have here. And when we lose someone close to us, or we go through something in our life where, you're close to death or whatever, I can't speak to that from a personal experience, but losing my brother just made me reframe the way I thought about things, and I realized that to get to where we want to be, although there might be discomfort associated with that big leap, a lot of times this fear is made up in our own heads, right? And we talk ourselves out of doing a lot of things that we know if we stepped into would bring us great things in our life. And so for me, after losing him, I knew that I wanted to take a shot. I wanted to take a chance and just go after my dreams and passions. And if they didn't work out, at least I wouldn't have the regret of never trying them.
I feel like I'm standing in front of the mirror right now talking with you, Ian, because time is going to pass, creators. Time is going to pass if you go for your dreams or if you just dream about them. Are you going to take action on those dreams? I love, Ian, that you are taking action on your dreams and really helping other people take action on their own. It's clear that mindset is a big part of your life. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the daily practices or how you ignite that positive mindset, that relentlessness, that overcoming the fear to take action every single day? Because you put yourself out there. I mean, you're out there on Facebook Live, you're doing the videos, you are putting out recorded videos like cooking or doing your workouts, but whether it's live or whether it's recorded, the main thing is that you're putting yourself out there. Tell us a little bit about how you cultivate and nurture that mindset.
Yeah, Tanner, I think it really comes down to setting those daily habits and rituals in your life so you can build that consistency and build that momentum, right? Because when we do things one time, it can be hard to do that. But when we take continuous action, it becomes ingrained in our daily behavior. So for me, it's all about starting my day from a positive state, because I truly believe that we either take control of our day or we react to the world around us. And for me, it's, if I don't get my day off to the right start, things spiral out of control very frequently, so there's a couple things that I like to do every morning. And the first thing is I like to move. I like to get the endorphins going, and that kind of gets my creative spark going, right? And from there, I always like to reframe my thinking. So I practice gratitude, think about things in my life that I'm grateful for, because we all have them, right? And sometimes, if we're dealing with a setback or whatnot, it can be tough to think that way. But I found it to be one of the most effective tools to help you live every day from a positive state. From there, I like to journal and just do a big brain dump on paper and think about, what are the big tasks? What are the things that I know that I have to get done today? And oftentimes that there's resistance around those big things. So for example, you just mentioned Facebook Live and all those other things. The first time I did one, there was discomfort associated with that. But, back in the day, I probably would have thought, okay, well, I'm not going to do that because it's uncomfortable. But now I reframe that and I'm like, it's uncomfortable, but I know if I take action on this, that, it's going to move me in the right direction. And if I do it consistently enough, I'm going to overcome those thoughts and that fear. And eventually it's going to become ingrained in my daily behavior. So always starting the day by knocking out those big tasks, focusing on the movement, focusing on gratitude. And then I'm a big believer that you should also put the right nutrients in your body from the start of the day, right? So I'm always trying to load my breakfast stuff with things that are going to give me more mental energy and clarity so I can attack every day with more focus.
I love it. Creators, Ian Ryan, fearlessandhealthy.com. Get over there, sign up for the newsletter there, get on his emailing list, because Ian is dropping bombs like this on a regular, daily, weekly, lively basis. He's all over it, and I want to thank you again so much for coming on the show. So let's switch gears a little bit, because mindset is one thing, but once we've got that mindset, as you alluded to, the next step is fueling our ability to get after it physically with nutrition and fitness habits. What are some of your foundational nutrition habits that contribute to a healthy mind and body?
Yeah, I think it's about being prepared. For a long time, especially Tanner, when I was running my corporate fitness business, I would do a lot of running around from office buildings, and I was training clients in home. And if I didn't prepare myself, I would end up, having a craving, and I would eat something unhealthy. I would stop somewhere and get something in my system that I know wasn't good for me, but because I had those cravings and I wasn't prepared, I'd often, eat it anyways. And what I try to do now is I have a Sunday success ritual. So what that's all about is really preparing myself, batch cooking some lean proteins for the week, right? Chopping up a bag of veggies so it's ready to go for my morning smoothies. And then I can also add it to food during the week. And then I try to start every morning with a power smoothie. So what I put in my power smoothie, Tanner, is I try to load it up with healthy fats. So I might do some coconut oil, almond butter, avocado, whatever it may be, whatever the recipe is I'm using. And then I'll add some whey protein. I'll do a little bit of fruit, and I'm big on leafy greens. So in terms of nutrition, I try to simplify the process. And I find that if I'm prepared, this is easy to do. It's like, all right, I have the ingredients, make the smoothie, boom, done in 5 minutes. I've used that Sunday success ritual to batch cook my foods. Now I'm prepared. I can just throw my stuff in some Tupperware and I'm good to go. I have the meals. And I found when I don't do this, that it's very easy to fall into those bad habits and eat food that I know isn't going to serve me in terms of fueling my body for the rest of the week.
Love it. Creators, I am picking up some key indicators, some things that are consistent around Ian's schedule, around his mindset, around his life, around his nutrition, and obviously around his fitness. And it's consistency, it's preparation, and it's a schedule. I love that you do the batch processing. I'm sure that also carries over into your business, but cooking extra food. We're already cooking the food. Why not cook extra so it's easier next time, right?
Absolutely. I think so. And I don't have every single meal prepared. I do want to say that, occasionally, like I like to enjoy myself and eat out, but it's like you said, Tanner, it's all about consistency, right? It's about doing the right thing most of the time, being prepared so it doesn't suck all your time up, right? And kind of, if you're having a busy day and you're not prepared, you come home, you're going to tell yourself you're going to cook, and you might do that. But what happens when you don't have that time, right? If you're already prepared, if you have stuff ready to go, it's going to be a lot more likely that you'll make the right decisions when it comes to your nutrition.
One of the things that is really consistent now, Ian, is your Fearless and Healthy community, the free Facebook group. Creators, get over there and check out how Ian is dropping bombs on you, dropping knowledge and value consistently on a regular basis on a schedule. And Ian, can you share with us, when we're talking about breaking habits or really just changing habits, do you have any tips or pointers, like how you were able to help your clients change their habits, or how do we do this?
I don't try to change a million things at one time, Tanner. And that's something that I've ran into trouble in my own life. Earlier, I would try to make all these big changes. And the reality is let's say, for example, you're trying to change your body, but for the last 5 years of your life, you've been eating fast food, right? Trying to tell someone to follow this really strict diet and go to the gym for 5 days a week for an hour each time and follow this incredibly structured routine, we're trying to work someone maybe to that level.
Right.
But initially, we just want to make small, gradual changes. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to change one thing at a time, right? And build consistency and then add things on top of each other and build that momentum up. And a lot of times, everyone has a different take on how long a habit takes to create, whether that's 21 or 30 days. But if we can just get in the game and then try to do one thing at a time, that usually leads to a lot more success. And when you have that momentum, then you kind of build up that steam and you're more likely to be able to add things along the way.
Hashtag progress, creators. We are creatures of habit, and I could not agree with you more, Ian, that one step at a time. We get through the marathon one step at a time, and life is a marathon, creators. And just like fearlessandhealthy.com, we've got to remain fearless and we've got to remain consistent in order to maintain that health for the marathon, one step at a time. Ian, what is your favorite tip to help someone who says, you know what, I'm ready to start taking control over my fitness. I'm ready to start with one strong step. What's the best step that I can create right now regarding my body when it comes to fitness?
Don't overcomplicate it. And I would try to build consistency in the morning, right? For me personally, everyone's different. But if you're trying to do something fitness wise, everyone has different goals and all that. But I feel like if you can start your day from that positive state, for example, if it's movement and we're talking exercise, you're going to be more likely to make the right decisions the rest of the day because you started it the right way, right? So it's like if I eat the right breakfast, I get my morning workout in, I have these endorphins going, and now I want to keep that up, right? So I want to make sure that I'm eating the right foods, and I feel so much more momentum. Whereas, especially if you're just getting started, I think if you're not getting your day off to a positive state, a lot of times if you're just going to chance things, if you're going to try to get your workout in after work or whatnot, it's going to be more difficult. So always make yourself make it a non-negotiable. If this is something that you really want to change, say, you know what, I'm going to take action on this. I'm going to plan it. It's going to be at the same time every single day. That's going to help build that consistency, right? And build a habit in your life. And then you'll be able to stick with it down the road.
What you're saying right now, Ian, is resonating with me so much as I reflect on the things that are going on in my life and all the balls that I have in the air, because it is so much right now, creators. And I know that there's a lot going on in your lives. We've got so many balls in the air, but when we take those shoulds and turn them into musts, when we take the things that we want to do and turn them into non-negotiable must-dos, things really start to happen. And one of those things for us in our lives, my wife and I's life, is we are starting to implement an exercise routine in the morning. And it doesn't have to be crazy radical, creators. Rosa and I are doing these isometric holds for a minute on, and then we switch, we'll do like a lunge hold for 1 minute, and then we'll go to the next leg, and we work out for like 10 minutes. And both of us, we are sleeping better. We feel more ready to go in the morning. It just jumpstarts our day. So it doesn't have to be a huge, giant leap from the get-go. Just take one step at a time. If it's 5 or 10 minutes in the morning. Thank you so much for sharing that. Again, consistency, creators. Make it a non-negotiable.
I love that, Tanner. And you just hit on, it's like, it doesn't have to be elaborate, right? Just some movement in the morning can just make such a difference, right? So don't overcomplicate it. If you want to change your body, and I feel like everything's connected, Tanner, as I'm sure you do. I believe in the mind-body connection so much, but it's like just making a little bit of time for your health, especially in the morning. It's going to translate to positivity in so many different areas of your life.
Well, I know about it, and I know that you do too, because I couldn't agree more. I'm so in tune with the mind-body connection. I think all the greats understand this and make time for the mind and the body. And I'm sure you're familiar with all the studies related to cognitive performance increases as well as energy increases by just, like you said, consistently working out, consistently taking the time to get at least something in right from the get-go in the morning.
Absolutely. 100%.
So, Ian, I know that creators are chomping at the bit to figure out how to connect with you. We're going to get all the links hooked up on the show notes page at creativesuccessshow.com. But what where would you like creators to connect with you? What's the best place?
Tanner, the best place to connect with me is probably going to be on Facebook. I have a free group called the Fearless and Healthy Community where I'm constantly posting content in terms of nutrition, fitness, and mindset. So, if any of the listeners want to come say hello, I'd love for them to join me over there.
I love that. And Ian isn't going to leave you hanging, but just posting these updates and then see you later. He's in there. He's getting it done in the community, and he is really creating, as the title is, Fearless and Healthy Community. That's what it's all about on social. So, Ian, thank you so much for joining us today on Creative Success.
Tanner, thanks for having me. Have a great day, my man, and hope to connect soon.
It gets back down to basics, creators. And thank you for sharing those basics, those foundational principles with Creation Nation, Ian. Now, be sure to hop on over to the complete show notes to get all the links we mentioned on today's episode. The Fearless and Healthy podcast, the website, and definitely get into that Fearless and Healthy Community Facebook group. Truly awesome work, Ian. Thank you so much, brother. Creators, make sure to share this episode right now so we can help other creators become more fearless and healthy. You can share it to Facebook right now from the podcast app on your phone or on the complete show notes page at creativesuccessshow.com/41. That's where we've also got those clickable quotes and messages, making it super easy to share specific content from this episode right to your favorite social channels. And if you're ready to get fearless about hopping online and building your website, get on over to HostGator.com right now and save 40% on your hosting package just by using Tanner at checkout. Thank you so much, HostGator, for that awesome discount. And thank you, Creation Nation, for your time today. I appreciate all of you so much. And if I can help you with anything, don't hesitate to shoot me an email through the contact form on the site. Until next time, creators, I am Tanner Gers, your partner in fearlessness and creative success.